Next on the list is Alformus, hydrogen-helium gas giant. Alformus had its helium-3 refueling stations destroyed in an attack by Grow Zero, an anti-population terrorist group, and wanted no more immigration to Arvuna. A consortium of Arvuna-based corporations are currently rebuilding the stations. Alliance Advisory: Alformus is not considered vital to the stability of the Acer system. Civilians working on the Helium-3 platforms should not expect Alliance military intervention in case of kidnapping or other violence. Sorry guys, if you get kidnapped, you're not important enough for us to do anything about it, so we won't save you. Good luck. Alright, nothing here, or at least it's moderate, so I think it is not something we want to be throwing probes away on. Then we're 50% done, and we've done 3 planets. Okay, so I think my math is right here, seeing that there appear to be 3 planets further in, not expecting to run into anything in this asteroid belt here. So let's head into this guy. Rainin, a sizable hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant, just on the far side of its pale yellow star's frost line. Rainin is known for its spectacular storms. At least 3 persistent observable spots, actually cyclonic and anticyclonic storms, have lasted for over 554 years, significantly longer than Jupiter's Great Red Spot. The largest of these spots, the Ishna, it has constantly held a diameter over 3 times that of Earth. Oh! Rainin has 44 moons. 2 of them are of special interest to the Citadel Committee on Habitable Worlds. The first, Arvuna, which we heard about in our previous planet description, is a life-bearing world that has already been colonized. Second, Alaya is slowly being terraformed into an ammonia-based world for Volus populations. Interesting. Okay, just moderate here, so unlikely we'll find anything that we want. And although we're hearing about the moon, we cannot seem to explore the moon. This is tiny. We have Sasu. Sasu is a dwarf planet, and it does look small, that is believed to have been ejected from Agnin during a giant impact with another planet-sized body. At the time, Agnin had a magma ocean covering much of its surface, and liquid rocks sprayed into space, where it coalesced and cooled over millions of years. That's cool. The theory is that during this cooling, Shasu first orbited Agnin, but was eventually pulled from that orbit by the gravity wells of other planets, primarily Drayden. Today, Shasu is relatively temperate, with light hydrogen-helium atmosphere, attracting spacers who use its atmosphere to refuel. Its crust composition is similar to Agnin, evident in its high sulfur content. Okay, it's only 23 degrees Celsius, which does perhaps mean it is not out of the question to actually spend time on this planet, but it is rich. So let's look around here a bit. No big sources yet, which I imagine means there's something waiting to be uncovered, and I'm not sure that's quite good enough. That probably is, though. Let's take that platinum.
Launching probe.
Oh. Guess what? There appears to be more platinum. Iridium as well, but that doesn't seem to go as high up. Hold on. At its peak? Where was it? There-ish? Let's do it.
Launching probe.
Now it's downgraded to good. I mean, those were 2 pretty solid platinum sources, so feel okay about that. That might have been the iridium one that we were looking at previously. So, yeah, I don't think any of these things are going to be sufficient to warrant launching a probe here. That's close, but might even be roughly on par with the platinum deposits we were looking at previously. But again, let's at least act on the assumption that it's just a good planet at the moment, so maybe some rich planets have better options. Then we have Agnin, a hothouse planet. Agnin's scorching clouds of methane and sulfur dioxide give the planet a pale green color in visible light. The SO2 from volcanic activity rains down as sulfuric acid in the upper atmosphere, but this is boiled away before the liquid ever reaches the surface. Agnon's harsh environment has prevented exploration by anything except probes. Speaking of probes, it is rich, so we will likely probe it. Perhaps in search of great sources of iridium. Like so.
Probe launched.
Okay, got a double resource here. It is at times hard to gauge just how useful that is, but I think we might even prefer prioritize palladium here. Is that good enough? I mean, it's close, but I'd say see if we can do better. Yes, we may be able to. We may be able to. Like, that is, I think, at its best. A little bit better.
Probe away.
Now it's downgraded to good. So I think we probably draw the line there. If we see anything that is ridiculously, obviously, scale-breakingly fantastic. I don't think we will. That's probably the closest thing we had, and we were talking about it before. I mean, again, it's good. We could theoretically justify it, but let's deliberately forego it because we do have a limited number of probes, and it's just a good planet, so in theory, there might be a rich planet out there with better stuff. Now we have Yukawa, which is the place where we are actually looking at the mission that we want to go to. And I think, despite both these being pretty far away from the place where we actually refuel, should still be able to make it back without running out of fuel here. Let's see, we have this spot, which is Kobayashi, a hydrogen-helium gas giant. Kobayashi has a faint ring system, a rust belt of decrepit refueling stations, and abandoned habitats on its moons have attracted Vorcha, Krogan, and other ne'er-do-wells. Living a hand-to-mouth existence with no garden planet supplying them, they trade helium-3 fuel and recycled waste products to survive. And why come here in the first place if there's very little to support you other than just helium-3, but that's fairly plentiful, it seems. As they trade helium-3 fuel and recycled waste products to survive, kidnappees from Maskawa are typically brought to Kobayashi to be released or sold as chattel to out-of-system slavers. Travel advisory. Law enforcement authorities of Maskawa categorically state that their effective range does not extend as far as Kobayashi. A statistically significant number of distress signals have been broadcast from within the 1 million kilometer mark of Kobayashi. Civilian traffic, not advised. And with only moderate resources here, I think that means we are likely not looking to do much on this planet. So let's head in. Then we have Karumtu, which is the place we're eventually looking to go.
Anomaly detected.
There is an anomaly detected here. An Earth-sized planet wrapped in an impenetrable haze of carbon dioxide and ash. Karumtu is an unforgiving place. Earthquakes, volcanic gases, and shrouds of dust have prevented any major settlements. Its sulfurous crust has yet to produce resources of interest. So that would suggest that, not great in terms of the resources, but we do have an anomaly here. So we are expecting to get our mission, of course.
Probe launched. Scans have found something.
Okay, so let's check out the anomaly. Research station detected within Volcano on planet surface. Research station's data storage systems are still active and may contain valuable information. Warning, Volcano is unstable. Advise extreme caution. So, you may remember last time, we had a cold, freezy planet that, if we were too pokey, would have eventually completely frozen our hammerhead, and we would have had to have ended the mission there. But, this time round, we may just, just maybe go into an active volcano. That's no big deal, really, right? What could possibly go wrong? So let's check out the other planets first, because there are still a few more remaining in the system, and then we'll head back to take a look at that actual quest. So let's see. Ooh, I love the color. Deep purple, Maskawa. We heard about it previously. A dense rock planet, Maskawa has a thick methane ammonia atmosphere. Because of its similar conditions to the Volus homeworld, Erun, billions of years ago when it first formed life, a large Volus university, the Ten Clan Academy, hosts symposia on the planet's surface. Unfortunately, despite their security precautions, pirates, organ leggers, enslavers throughout the terminus systems have learned that kidnapped students and professors are a source of easy money. This only adds to the university's reputation, as a visit or tenure at the academy is a clear mark of commitment on any scientific resume. Oh man, they went to Muskawa, where everybody gets captured and turned into a slave, and they live to tell the tale, so clearly they are dedicated, and they know their stuff. So population just 40,000. Let's see if there's anything of interest here. It is a rich planet. So what do we have in the purple planet? Nothing much yet. Oh. Except for that. That looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good to me, from a palladium standpoint, at least, and then not an insignificant source of platinum either. I don't think that's quite good enough to justify. I don't think it is either. Oh, hold on. More palladium here, it would seem. How well can we do? I mean, that's pretty darn good, right? That's pretty solid. Now it's downgraded to good. So why don't we leave it here? So I do, once again, love the color of it. Okay. Then we have Nambu, not to be confused with Nabu, a hydrogen-helium gas giant. Nambu has an extensive ring system, but only 20 moons. Only 20? Come on, man. Step up your game, really. Comparatively few. Its moon, Sumuku, is the smallest moon known to be tectonically active in the Milky Way. Interesting. Covered with bright fractures. Visitors to Muskawa often take advantage of Nambu's refueling platforms. Okay, and with moderate resources here, unlikely we'll want anything on this occasion. Make sure it's not a ridiculous source of iridium, but it isn't. So, in that case, interestingly, I was gonna say, we only have 80% explored. That is because there's something that is seemingly inside this star, that being Saskata, a large Venetian hothouse. Sakata's rough weather and active magnetosphere has a reputation for confounding or destroying space probes launched to investigate it. Challenge accepted. What has been discovered is that its dense atmosphere is largely carbon dioxide and sodium, and its surface lime. Its magnetosphere suggests an iron-rich core, but its heavy gravity precludes most development. Let's see, so it is 374 degrees Celsius. Honestly, I would have thought more if it has a humongous atmosphere and it's this close to the star. And 3.5 Gs is the crushing gravity, you say. It is rich. Let's see, I'm curious what we might find here. I don't think that's quite enough iridium to be worth launching a probe there, though. Likewise here, maybe a little... Oh, hold on. Hold on, it does get better, though. Does get better, though. That's sufficient? That's close. You could certainly make a case for it. I'm curious to see if we have anything better. I think that is. That definitely is. Let's see. Hold on. Where was the... That's... I think that's the beacon.
Launching probe.
Oh, hold on. Quick spike. Palladium here. Thought I saw it go a little bit higher up. Perhaps not. If it doesn't, then I don't quite think it's worth it. It is close. But I don't quite think it's worth it. Did we see this one yet for the Iridium? I think it's a somewhat similar story there. That just doesn't seem to go anywhere near the same height. Still close, but not quite, I think. I think we're, for the most part, at this point, looking at the same resources and going, yeah, you know, if we weren't being picky, probably, but I think we've done some pretty aggressive scanning thus far. So I think for the most part, we're probably good to go and could be overall, regardless of what planet we're looking at, we'd probably be a little bit bigger, and we might even be approaching the point where might not need to do much, if any, scanning from this point onward if we are just diligent about getting all the loot we can get from various quests. But speaking of which, let's head over to Chrome 2 here, so we can go for our next Firewalker mission. And this time, well, we are expecting, you know, perhaps just some lava and what have you. Okay. So we have, oh, well, we launched our probes already, of course. So, let's land. And this time, let's, why don't we, I mean, again, it doesn't really matter. So, we'll take our usual Firewalker team of Jacob and Jack. The Jays, if you will, and I think, once again, we're just looking to not take anything particular here or here. We're breaking out the hammerhead.
Primary systems online.
Okay.
Adverse geothermal activity has rendered pathfinding function inoperable. Please use manual controls to locate research base.
Okay. Great. You know, we might have wanted to have saved before we hop down here. Come to think of it. Probably would have been nice. But, you know, tectonically active volcano and what have you. And, you know, like the things that we're looking to research are, like, down there and everything. And,
Area compromised due to unstable volcanic activity.
And I believe this may be another case where we have a pseudo timer of sorts in this mission. Where, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the lava may be rising. I believe the lava may be rising. I think we need to go around this way.
Research base entrance ahead.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Let's have this while we can. Okay, now, I'll be honest, I don't know. We technically should be going directly into the research base, or if we should be trying to make a point of getting to the other spots first. I am not certain. At this point, in order to do that, we might need to double back, which I'm not sure how feasible that really is. So we are actually exiting the hammerhead here. Okay. Let's see, we've got the docking bay. Make sure we aren't missing anything in here, like, say, a medical station, which we actually do need right now because we used a bunch back on Corliss. And I think now we're back to being fully stocked. Anything else down there we might have missed? I don't think so, other than the hammerhead itself. Hold on, we can enter. For a second I thought that said examine. I was like, oh, is there something else we can learn about it? So, let's carry on through here. And, let's see, so, we are searching for a research station. We found it. Search the volcano for a research station established by Dr. Kane and Dr. Oloy. So again, that question of, are we technically supposed to get those other spots first and we get a few more resources in the process? Or do we just go straight in here and it doesn't matter? I'm not certain. There's a chance we might miss out on some things, but we'll see. So, search the research station for clues as to Dr. Case's whereabouts. Okay. Let's see. Got doors everywhere. At least it seems. Oh, look at this. Got a data pad. Dr. Case's log number 1. We've detected a site of incredible significance located beneath the volcano. The unpredictable terrain will make retrieval of any data extremely hazardous. Okay. Got a wall safe for a few credits. Let's see what else we've got here. This kind of looks like a dead end. Maybe. Or at least just a loop around. So we've got a computer console we can investigate. Got a locker we can open for some credits. Got a terminal we can use. Sensors we can activate. Okay, whole lot of stuff here, in fact. Let's examine this first, maybe.
This site was a roadmap leading to the main Prothean ruins.
Whoa!
Dr.
Sounds
O'Leary
important.
and I agree that this must remain a secret at all
What?
costs.
Why?
I will not allow another Eden Prime to occur. The Geth, the
Oh.
Reapers, all of them, they must be stopped.
Okay. Does sound a little bit like he's been taking crazy pills, but sure. So we check that out. What are we looking at? Got something blinking down there. Is that what you're saying? That's the super specialty thing? Down deep in the volcano? So we can activate those sensors. We can use this terminal. Okay. We've got log number 2. This hellish planet is a star map that points to a Prothean site of major significance. Dr. Oloy and I have mere hours to retrieve all we can before the conditions become too dangerous to continue. We learned too late that the local volcanic instability is magnified by our power grid. Oh. Uh-oh. Not sure that makes much sense, scientifically, but sure. If we only had more time to study this, I'm sure the key to unlocking everything is here. Everything. This freaking planet. Alright, now I think that's everything in here. Besides, oh, was that something over there in that corner that we missed? Oh, that's just the door. However, wait, have we been in through that way? We might not have. Come to think of it. Hold on. That. And by default, that last one there. Ah, see? That's a lot of iridium you had hidden over here. Don't mind if I do. That's a little pop up there, that's cool. We may be, you know, dying to toxic fumes here, but we'll be fine. Shepard's fine. They've got a mask. You know, Jack and Jacob maybe a little less so. They have something on. Alright, now let's activate these sensors. This is like the big thing. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Activation of research-based power grid has triggered additional volcanic instability. Recommend immediate departure.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Time to go.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Wish I remember the way we came in, though. This wasn't it. This was. Let's get out of here. So as we might have expected, things got a little hectic here. A little crazy. Let's hop in the Hammerhead. And I think this place is now about to go boom. If the lava wasn't rising before, I think it is now. So let's get out of here. And of course, there are still things that we have not yet researched. Yeah, this was definitely not happening before. There are still some places that we'd like to scan. Ooh. And so, as to whether we will manage to do so or not, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to try if we can. But it's a little bit harder to see as well. So there's that too. Don't think I see anything down there. Ooh, that was close. There is one here. Okay, I might have overboosted that a bit, but there goes nothing. Got a lot of iridium. Ooh, I was not sure we were gonna make that. Let's see. Keeping our eye out here for more. Just keeping our eye out for more. I saw. Oh. Perhaps over-enthusiastic about that. Okay, we appear to have made our escape here. As for whether we got all of the things along the way, I'm not sure. I feel like we might have missed at least one. But things we did get were certainly quite valuable. Large sources of iridium. We got at least one on our way back up. So let's see. Data recovered from the research station. Dr. Case's location discovered. Landing party extracted from Volcano. Got 125 experience. And we got a little bit of credits. We got, let's see, 3,500 iridium. I don't remember, or don't know what the maximum amount is. Okay, so that is, you know, just a casual trip into a active volcano. But we made it out just fine. Don't worry about us. We'll be okay. I am curious, as we've done a few side quests as of late. How are we doing from an experience standpoint? How much more experience do we need before we can level up? 520, so would still take several more side quests to reach that point where we actually hit that landmark, get an additional level. So it'd be great if we could do that before we get into our next big mission, but we'll see. Oh, I suppose we should take a look at, hold on, our journal here, because we have now completed the Volcano station for Firewalker, but there is more. We learned about the survey sites previously, but we now know about the Prothean site. While searching through the data from Karumto, servers discovered Dr. Case's last known location, the planet Koplos Hades Nexus. It's believed that Dr. Case had discovered a Prothean site on the planet and set out to excavate it. So I think, why don't we do survey sites first, and then we'll do the Prothean site? Since we did learn about this one earlier, so I suppose we might as well. So this one, we should already know where it is, because we have seen it when we popped open our map. Okay, so let's head out. And we are going to need to head back to our mass relay. And we are a little bit light on fuel.
Fuel reserves at 50%.
Because we're already at 50%. Oh, and I did not take the best trajectory here. But we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. 152. That's all you need, right? That's all you ever really need. But, you know, maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea if we loaded up a little bit more. Once we're capped off, of course, we will head over to that other area. And let's pick up some probes as well. Okay. So we are looking now to go to, I believe it is Artifact Collection. Whereas, yeah, Prothean Rune is the one that we learned about most recently. And yeah, as I was saying previously, Hawking Ito is a cluster that we were able to go to in Mass Effect 1 as well. I think that might be the first... Oh, other than, obviously, the Serpent, combining Cerberus and Serpent for reasons unknown to me, but Serpent Nebula, obviously we were able to go to that because we went to the Citadel in Mass Effect 1. Same with the local cluster where Earth is. But Hakinida, I thought in Mass Effect 1, interestingly, I think it's located in a different spot. Is it up here? I thought it was... I mean, there are not very many things up in this area in Mass Effect 1. It is almost exclusively over in this bottom right corner of the galaxy, whereas the local cluster is pretty consistent between Mass Effect 1, the location for that, and same with the Serpent Nebula. But this one might have moved a bit. Anyways, let's head over in this direction. Alright, so, let's see, we are on Chandrasekhar. And while we're here, we have, first, this planet here, Hebat. Hebat is a methane ammonia ice giant. When Heavy Metals Exomining of China won the bidding rights to develop the moon of Pressdrop in the Century system, we were there in Mass Effect 1, I remember it. It began by establishing Helium-3 refueling facility on Hebat. Oh, right, so obviously we were here in Mass Effect 1, so we may actually see names that we have seen in Mass Effect 1, and potentially even places that we visited in Mass Effect 1, and Pressdrop was a place that we could actually land. So it began by establishing Helium-3 refueling facility on Hebat. The station, completed this year, is considered a model facility by the executives of the state-run company. Though the station produces more than enough fuel to supply the HMEC ships running to and from Century, it has a crew of only a dozen for maintenance and oversight. Nearly all the day-to-day operations are automated. Let's check it out. It's only moderate, so probably not going to see anything here that we are terribly interested in actually probing. And we're on 23 probes here, so I'm thinking we'll check out the planets here, maybe launch a few probes, and if there is anything of interest, of course, we'll check it out. Otherwise, we'll potentially purchase, interestingly... Oh, no, there is a fuel station. For a second, I thought there wasn't even a fuel depot in this system. I was like, that's odd. We have Teshub, which is the first and larger of the two gas giants in the Hakinida Gateway system. Teshub is composed mainly of hydrogen and helium. Brown and orange coloration in its upper cloud decks are caused by the upwelling of sulfur from lower levels of the atmosphere. Let's see, this is moderate, so again, very unlikely we'll find anything we are looking for here, so no need spend much time there, and that's all there is to this system that is veritably quite small. And there are a few different places for us to go here, though. And interestingly, I specifically remember Century from Mass Effect 1. I imagine that's where we would see the most familiar names, whereas I don't think we saw this system in Mass Effect 1. Don't remember if there was a Schwarzschild either. I want to say no, but it's possible. Ver, I don't think there was. So let's go maybe first over to Schwarzschild, just because it looks like it's in the opposite direction. It is. And so maybe we go here, head back, refuel, and then from there we can head out to Century, and after that, Ver. Since those are in the same direction. Okay. So, Schwarzschild, here we are. It does look huge, at least in terms of amounts of area. We are seemingly traveling quite slow. Let's see, where is this planet? I also don't currently see it. So we have successfully taken the most inefficient route to find it. Okay. It is Rahali. Rahali is a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant. It is notable because none of its moons is larger than 12 kilometers in diameter. That's quite small. A rare trait among the charted gas giants of the galaxy. And moderate resources means unlikely for us to want anything here, I think. So let's check our next planet in that case. And in this case, it is this purplish, reddish, pink one. Lenosa. So I'm loving the color scheme. Lenosa is a hydrogen-helium gas giant. It is surrounded by several thin rings of debris. Analysis of this debris has been difficult due to extreme age and fragility, but several apparently nano-manufacturers' materials have been identified. That's alarming. The leading theory is that the inhabitants of Atomis mined the atmosphere for helium-3. Okay, it's moderate here as well. So again, probably not going to find anything particularly interesting. Maybe the occasional spike here and there, but probably not worth pursuing. Then, okay, I was going to say, we're only 50% done, and yet I, for a second, only saw one more planet. There's this, and there's one hiding very close to the star. Here is Atomis, which we heard about in our previous description. Atomis is a super-terrestrial world. There are terrestrial worlds, and then there are super-terrestrial worlds. A third larger than Earth. It is in a post-garden state that clearly shows evidence of attack from space. While now waterless, the shores of former oceans show patterns of cratering too regular to be anything but saturation bombardment by Dreadnought-class kinetic weapons. Although it is unclear how, most of the atmosphere has been lost. Archaeologists have found little of note. It appears that all settled regions were torched by the global bombardment. The few relics found suggest an advanced spacefaring culture thrived on the world somewhere from 20 and 40 million years ago. The level of antiquity makes it impossible to estimate the world's former population or guess whether it was the race's homeworld or colony. Interesting. I mean, it doesn't seem to have the best of prospects, at least at the moment, for colonization, seeing as how the atmosphere is tiny, although they said that the atmosphere has been reduced, and they don't know why. That would, I suppose, potentially explain, at least in part, why it's pretty cold at negative 49 degrees Celsius. Add the actual original atmosphere, or at least the atmosphere as it was 20 to 40 million years ago, then maybe it'd be considerably warmer. But even then, we were hearing previously, worlds that had gravity in the range of 4 or so Gs, and we were hearing that that was too crushing of a gravitational field for most species to survive other than the Elcor, who are used to that type of thing. But, I mean, obviously it's a little bit less in this case, but not much less. And post-garden world, I think, is the key word for Element Zero. And here it is. It is, unfortunately, only good. Not anything higher than that, so... I mean, that's still, as Element Zero goes, not a bad source, so I wouldn't rule that out. Let's try it.
Probe launched.
But I think, because it is good, and only good, chances are we probably are not going to want to launch our probe for anything else, so that's not a terrible platinum source. That's actually pretty solid. Of course, Element Zero is the rarest of all these elements. So let's nab this, and this might even drop it down below good, because not seeing the most inspiring of results here outside of that. Well, I mean, there are two solid sources of other materials, it does seem. Other resources. Little pocket of Element Zero for a second there. I thought I saw, no? Drops out, whoa, hold on. That looked, for a second, like that's the best one we saw. Yeah, I think so. Let's nab this, and then I think we'll call it a day for this planet. Just shy of 1,000. Oh, another source. Is another source. Actually, pretty solid one at that.
Launching probe.
That time, over 1,000 Element Zero. So I think now we've gotten all the big EZO deposits, and again, there are some other surprisingly half-decent deposits elsewhere for other resources, but that's not what we're there for. Then lastly, we have Atahil, a typical Venetian greenhouse world. Atahil is only of note for a few scattered craters. Though flattened by millions of years of high pressure, the marks of orbital bombardment strikes are unmistakable. It is generally accepted among academics that whoever hailed from or settled Schwarzschild's second planet, Atomis, must have had outposts on Atahil as well. Which is strange, given how, with its Venetian atmosphere, 62 Earth atmospheres of pressure, that is absurd. Also, extremely hot. And this is a rich planet. And This is more so what we're looking for when it comes to deposits of other resources besides Element Zero. Is that good enough? I mean, it's good. But how picky do we want to be? Question. How picky do we want to be? It's good. Yeah, we should take that. We should take that. Let's just try to optimize it to the extent possible. And I feel like whenever I do that, I'm making it worse. That looks good, though.
Probe away.
But now it's already down to good. So that may have been the best source, although we did see one other thing that looks decent. That's probably not good enough. Do better than that. Definitely do. Well, it's good. But I think we can be picky and say no.